SCP-1050 Object Class Safe. SCP-1050 consists of one item, SCP-1050-1, and two related phenomena, -2 and -3. -1 was recovered from a secret German research facility in following the conclusion of the Second World War. SCP-1050-2A was recovered from Soviet NKVD archives in 1950. SCP-1050-2B was recovered from British Crown archives in 1950. SCP-1050-1's previous origins are unknown. SCP-1050-1. -1 is a large obelisk made of solid obsidian with approximate dimensions of 1.48 meters by 1.48 meters by 30.5 meters. According to Obsidian hydration dating of the obelisk itself was carved approximately 48,900 years ago. Microscopic scans indicate that it is perfectly shaped at the molecular level, indicating creation requiring technology in advance of that available at the present. The obelisk is covered by a variety of writing scripts, all apparently containing the same message, and all apparently carved with the same exact precision as the obelisk itself. The surface of the obelisk appears to be subdivided into 80 1.48 meter by 1.48 meter sections, each with a distinct form of writing. Of the 80 sections, of them have been filled in. Images of several of the carvings on SCP-1050 are in Addendum 3. Linguistic analysis of the scripts indicates the following in chronological order by age except as noted. As yet unidentified scripts bearing no resemblance to any known language or writing style, past or present, with carving dates ranging from 48,000 years ago to years ago. These are presumed to contain the same message as the other scripts. A script of unknown origin dating to the creation of the obelisk, whose spelling and grammatical structure resembles early forms of ancient Latin, though the alphabet and numeral system are completely different. Jiahu symbols, Akkadian, cuneiform, Egyptian hieroglyphs, Linear A, Olmec script, Classical Latin, Early Medieval Swedish runes, Modern English, circa 1891, Modern Russia, circa 1943. The scripts all appear to contain the same message. The following is the English version of the message as written on -1. Footnotes provide conjectural annotations by the research team. Beware the destroyers. They come by the millions from the realm of darkness which extends where no stars shine. For 1,000 generations they slumber, lying in wait. Great nations rise and flourish. There is peace and prosperity. Then comes the dark times. Then they return. They cull and burn. They are warped and moved beyond the pale, bigger than any man. Natural births. Unnatural births. Every nail, claw, scale, and spur, every spike and welt on the hand of those heathen brutes is as barbed steel. It is said there is no honed iron hard enough to pierce them through, no time-proofed blade that can cut their brutal blood-caked claws. Armies are raised and cut down like grasses before a scythe. It is said the armies of Amara and Sudan Each 10,000 strong were swept away between a single rising and setting sun. Heroes come forth and are slaughtered. Lightning and fire rain from the sky, and the whole earth trembles. They are as a deluge, a powerful flood that washes away entire mighty nations and empires. The people pray for deliverance from the gods. The gods fight the destroyers, but their efforts are in vain. Iapetos, Auxerre, Ehikadal, Sochang, all perished. The destroyers are to the gods as the gods are to men, and men are to insects, cold and vast and unsympathetic. The wise flee them, the lucky escape. 50 score great vessels were launched to seek refuge from them. Only those led by Satyavrata, Utnapishtim, Noach, and Deucalion escaped. The Dark Ones vanish all before them. They have come before time began. Now they slumber. They will return. Beware the destroyers. 13-057, 935, 897. 13-057, 987, 212. 13-082, 937, 367. 13-082, 989, 898. 13-097, 951, 299. 13-098, 004, 240. 13-154, 950, 029. 13-154, 997, 841. 13-171, 943, 486. 13-171, 996, 357. 13-175, 947, 117. 13-175, 997, 684. 13-179, 942, 287. 13-179, 990, 180. 13-183, 948, 781. 13-183, 999, 048. 13-232, 952, 474. 13-233, 001, 388. 13-281, 951, 481. 13-282, 002, 364. 13-329, 941, 108. 13-329, 990, 159. 13-348, 945, 350. 13-348, 994, 654. 13-394, 942, 237. 13-394, 994, 635. 13-1416, 953, 628. 13-417, 005, 920. 13-454, 440, 174. 13-454, 492, 033. 13-482, 944, 398. 13-482, 991, 663. 13-534, 433, 334. 13-534, 484, 218. 13-566, 069, 136. 13-566, 119, 652. 13-585, 446, 914. 13-585, 499, 555. 13-599, 896, 703. 13-599, 945, 679. proclaimed again by Her Majesty Victoria, by the grace of God, of the United Kingdom of Great Britain, Ireland, Queen, Defender of the Faith, Empress of India, in the year of our Lord 1891. The end of the message is different for each time it is written, varying by which ruler proclaimed again the message, and by altering the date accordingly. Testing has revealed the dates of the carving of different messages that correspond with the approximate dating provided by the different iterations of the message. So far, Foundation researchers have identified the following rulers: Legatus Maximus Romulus, 5500 BCE, original carving Proto-Latin with alternate alphabet. King Gilgamesh of Uruk, 2500 BCE, Akkadian cuneiform. Pharaoh Kakhare Senusret III of the Egyptian Middle Kingdom, 1850 BCE, Egyptian hieroglyphs. King Midas of Minoa, 800 BCE, Linear A. Caesar Publius alias Trajanus Hadriani Augusti, Emperor Hadrian of Rome, 122 CE Classical Latin. King Eric the Victorious of Sweden, 985 CE Early Medieval Swedish runes. Queen Victoria of Great Britain, 1891 CE Modern English. Premier Joseph Stalin of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, 1943 CE Modern Russian, most recent carving. The meaning of the series and numbers appearing in the message is not known for certain. However, if assumed to be standard Earth years from the date of the Big Bang, then the numbers follow a pattern consistent within 4 significant figures, with the major extinction events in the planet's history followed by a date roughly 50,000 years later. Extensive investigation into prehistoric extinction events has thus far failed to definitively confirm a connection between the events, but has similarly failed to disprove such a connection. SCP-1050-1 also emits -3 from its apex, despite apparently having a composition of solid obsidian. SCP-1050-2 SCP-1050-2 consists of documents with text equivalent to carvings on -1, apparently written by the rulers alleged by -1 to have proclaimed the message. The existence of -2 was discovered when the Russian message, apparently proclaimed by Stalin, mysteriously appeared on -1 overnight while the Obelisk was in a Nazi research lab during the Second World War in 1943. SS researchers, discovering the mysteriously added new message, reported the development to their superiors, but no evidence for the origin of the new carving was ever determined by the Nazi research team. -2A, a version of the message written in Stalin's handwriting, was discovered after the war by Foundation operatives. It was located in the archives of the Soviet People's Ministry of Internal Affairs, NKVD. Though there is no clear indication whether Stalin ever actually wrote the message. -2B, a handwritten version of the message apparently written by Queen Victoria, was recovered from British archives in 1950, where it had been apparently filed without notice. Apart from the fact that both -2A and -2B match handwriting samples of the respective apparent authors, and both seem to have appeared without explanation, no anomalous properties have ever been noted in -2. No further instances of -2 have been uncovered to date. SCP-1050-3 -3 consists of a series of radio messages uncovered at different times by radio telescopes on 4 continents and in orbit. These messages consist of the following: Cave qui destrunt, followed by a large series of numbers. The numbers have been determined to be base 8 octal representations of the 40 base 10 decimal integers in the Obelisk message, preceded by another 60 integers following a similar pattern. It is hypothesized that these numbers may refer to additional events not documented in Earth's paleogeological history. The Proto-Latin message translates roughly to "Beware the Destroyers." -1 emits -3 from its apex. -3 has also been received from other directions in space, including these are received as occasional pulses of 1 to 3 repetitions of the SCP-1050-3 message, suggesting similar directional broadcasts to those emanating from -1 being transmitted from rotating planets orbiting other stars. Addendum 1. Speculations by the SCP-1050 Research Team, 19. SCP-1050 appears to be parts of an interstellar early warning system of unknown origin. Before the invention of more modern forms of rapid communication, some societies would light bonfires atop watchtowers, which would then be observed by the next watchtower, which would then light its own bonfire, and so on. By this method, a warning of an invading army could be passed along tens or hundreds of miles in hours rather than days. It seems to the research team that SCP-1050 may be something similar, which would explain the signal we've designated -3. Similarly, by having the message written on the obelisk in dozens of languages and apparently proclaimed by major political rulers of the time, it would increase the likelihood of societies being forewarned about these destroyers, whomever or whatever they may be. -2 might be a means of spurring the governments of major political powers to action, though due to the fact that this warning has not been visibly taken seriously or even publicly acknowledged, suggests that this has not occurred historically. While it may be attractive to assume such defensive measures as Hadrian's Wall or military buildups by the Nazis were due to preparing to meet some shadowy preternatural threat, no other historical evidence supports this conclusion. Addendum 2. Note on containment procedures. Since the Foundation came into possession of SCP-1050-1 in 1940, O5 Command has twice amended the special containment procedures, initially requiring the blocking of radio signals, 1940, then requiring that radio signals not be blocked, 1960, then requiring that they be blocked, 1980. These changes have resulted not from alterations in SCP-1050-1, but rather from changes in the perceived threat posed by -1's radio transmissions. The rationale behind blocking -1's broadcast of -3 is that it decreases the likelihood of drawing attention to Earth by removing this planet from the theorized early warning network. The rationale behind not blocking the signal is that if the theories about the possibility of future extinction events being caused by the mentioned destroyers are correct, then this planet has some degree of obligation to warn other planets in danger. At present, the risks of broadcasting the signal are believed to outweigh the benefits. Addendum 3. Select images of carvings from SCP-1050, which are included in this video. Footnotes. 1. See Addendum 2. 2. These measurements correspond with the archaic length measure of the Roman pace, equal to 1.48 meters. Dr. von Schmidt. 3. -1 has provided the ability for linguists to read the previously indecipherable Jiahu symbols from ancient China, but the Foundation has not released any information relating to the Jiahu symbols to the scholarly linguistic community due to the classified nature of -1. 4. -1 has provided the ability for linguists to read the previously indecipherable Linear A from the ancient Minoan culture, but the Foundation has not released any information relating to Linear A to the scholarly linguistic community due to the classified nature of -1. 5. -1 has provided the ability for linguists to read the previously indecipherable Olmec script from pre-Columbian Mesoamerica, but the Foundation has not released any information relating to Olmec script to the scholarly linguistic community due to the classified nature of -1. 6. With the exception of a change in the ruler and date when the message was proclaimed again, the message appears to be identical in all languages on the obelisk. 7. Conjectured to be interstellar space, possibly intergalactic space. 8. Preceding description. They are warped. Clause. Appears in Beowulf. 9. Archaic Tiberian spelling of Sodom and Gomorrah. 10. Possible origin of the flood myths that appear across most ancient cultures. 11. Ancient Greek Titan, son of Uranus and Gaia, father of Atlas, Prometheus, Epimetheus, and Menoetius, ancestor of the human race through Prometheus, Epimetheus, and Atlas. Titan of mortal life, he was imprisoned in Tartarus by the Olympians. 12. Archaic form of Osiris, ancient Egyptian god of the afterlife, underworld, and the dead. He was killed by Seth and had his body torn to 14 pieces, which were then scattered through the land. 13. Pre-Columbian Aztec wind deity associated with Quetzalcoatl. 14. Deified ancient Chinese general, more commonly known today as Guan Yu. 15. Initial name of the Hindu figure Manu, believed to be the first king to rule this earth, having saved mankind from the universal flood. 16. Survivor of the flood myth and the Epic of Gilgamesh. 17. Archaic spelling of Noah from the Abrahamic flood myth. 18. A son of Prometheus in Greek myth. He and his wife Pyrrha survived the Greek mythical flood by building a chest. 19. End. Ediacaran extinction event, 542 million years ago. 20. End. Botomian extinction event, 517 million years ago. 21. Dresbachian extinction event, 502 million years ago. 22. Ordovician extinction event, 445 million years ago. 23. Erevacan event, 428 million years ago. 24. Molde event, 424 million years ago. 25. Lao event, 420 million years ago. 26. End Silurian extinction event, 416 million years ago. 27. Late Devonian extinction event, 367 million years ago. 28. Carboniferous rainforest collapse, 318 million years ago. 29. Olson's extinction event, 270 million years ago. 30. Permian Triassic extinction event, 251 million years ago. 31. Triassic Jurassic extinction event, 205 million years ago. 32. Toarcian turnover, 183 million years ago. 33. End Jurassic extinction event, 145.5 million years ago. 34. Aptian extinction event, 117 million years ago. 35. Cretaceous Tertiary extinction event, 65.5 million years ago. Dinosaurs go extinct. 36. Eocene Oligocene extinction event, 33.9 million years ago. 37. Middle Miocene disruption, 14.5 million years ago. 38. Quaternary extinction event, approximately 50,000 years ago. 39. Possible date range. Special containment procedures. SCP-1050-1 is to be maintained in a storage facility with interior dimensions of at least 5 meters by 5 meters by 32 meters. The ceiling of the storage facility, specifically the area directly over -1, must be shielded to block radio waves broadcast at an intensity of -1 is currently stored at Area 179. Occurrences of -2 are to be located upon identification of the corresponding change in -1. These are to be located and confiscated by Foundation agents. -2 is to be stored in secure classified document storage. Instances of -3 must be tracked by monitoring radiotelescope telemetry. When an instance of -3 is detected by non-Foundation personnel, all records must be confiscated and/or destroyed, and affected persons should be administered amnesiacs.